It's the simple pleasures in life. From my point of view, when I can take some ingredients and I can make them into something else, make them into something special, put it in front of someone and have them dance in their seat and not be able to form whole sentences anymore. The look of sheer joy that's on their face from tasting something that they never just, wow, this is earth-shattering. This is the best thing I've ever had. The best thing I've ever eaten. That's what you long for as a chef. That's what you want to hear someone say. You want to hear someone every time tell you, that's the best thing I've ever eaten. Fast food is a problem. I don't even like the term fast food, because if you're cooking from scratch and you're cooking with good ingredients, most of the dishes that you can cook are pretty fast. It doesn't take very long, especially if you know what you're doing. The biggest problem with the fast food industry is everything's pre-made and pre-packaged. That means it's all done at another location. So somewhere in Omaha, Nebraska, there's a big giant factory churning out mass-produced frozen burgers full of preservatives and salt and things you really don't need. That is, if they're made with burger meat at all. Some of the product that they sell simply is not of good quality. So when they deliver this stuff to the restaurant, all they do is throw it on a flat top and burn it, stick it on a bun, and send it out the door. No care, no due diligence, no quality whatsoever. I believe in offering a quality product. Quality is the key. People know good food. Believe me, they know good food, and that's exactly what they want. They really don't want mass-produced nonsense that everybody else is offering. Even if you look at the upscale restaurants that are still the fast food type, you go in there and if you look in the kitchen, everything's on a conveyor belt, everything's out of a bag. The people behind the stove wouldn't know how to make a sauce or a gravy if you put a gun to their head. It's sad because it's not the way to do business. Those places make an awful lot of money because they keep their costs very, very low by hiring inexperienced people and using the lowest quality ingredients available. I just think that's the wrong philosophy. Don't you just love when you pick up the phone or you go into an establishment and you're looking for service because you are the customer, and you walk up to the counter and the person behind the counter acts like you're bothering them. I love that. That's my favorite thing in the world. You know, when you go into business for yourself, your customer is the most important ingredient that you have. I don't care what you're cooking with in a restaurant. Your customer is the most important ingredient. If you're not good to your customer, they won't come back. You think you're the only restaurant out there? There's a million of them out there. You have to, customer service is the key to every business, every industry, everywhere in the world. Treat your customers with respect. Treat them like you want to be treated. Give them good quality ingredients, and you'll have a line out the door and down the block. I've seen it before. I'll see it again. Having fresh food made from scratch available to the customer on a delivery basis is going to be key to our success. Anyone can gather up a whole pile of money and throw it at a restaurant and, hey, we're the best, we're this, we're that, but they all continuously do the same thing. Everything comes out of a box, everything comes out of a bag, everything comes pre-made, pre-mixed, pre-prepared. What's the point? Don't go into the restaurant business. If you want to be an assembly line, make cars. We need cars, right? But for me, it's very important as a professional in the industry to service the customer. The customer's crying out for good, wholesome food. The customer's crying out for fresh, locally sourced food that they don't have to pay an arm and a leg for. All of the restaurants that you see pop up that are trendy and the new thing usually don't last very long. The reason for that is because we look for the next new trend. Let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to good, old-fashioned, honest cooking. That's what we're paid to do. So we have this neighbor across the street, and lovely family. They have a little granddaughter, and she's about 5 or 6 years old, and oddly enough, when she visits, she tends to come over to our house just around dinner time every single night, or just about every night. Anyway, the other day she looks at me dead in the eye and she says, "Tony, this is my favorite restaurant of all time." Now we all know children don't lie. That's a pretty good compliment. Having been in business for many, many years now, I was a real estate broker for 17 years, and my wife and I owned our own office, and we did very, very well for ourselves. we developed a business philosophy, I guess, when it comes to our competition, is to see what your competition is doing and do exactly the opposite. So we don't want to be exactly like the next guy. We want to be something different. So here we are. We want to have a fast food restaurant. So you look at your competition. It's all exactly the same thing. If you pick up one menu, you've seen them all. They all offer the exact same dishes. So what's going to set us apart is our menu. Our menu is going to be completely unique. You're going to see things in our menu that you usually only see in fine dining restaurants. You're going to see things in our menu that you never even dreamt you could possibly pick up the phone and order this particular item. If you go to our website, our full menu is there for you to see, along with pictures of all the dishes that we've made, more information about myself and my team and what our philosophy is. But if you look at our menu, you're going to see that it's very, very exciting, very, very unique, and unlike anything you've ever seen for a delivery restaurant. One of the things that we're going to put in our restaurant on our menu is an entire section devoted to gluten-free products. These are not gluten-free products that you can buy. These are gluten-free products that we're going to make. I've developed a recipe for pasta, which the average celiac sufferer has to eat rice noodles. Now, rice noodles are great in Chinese food, but if you're thinking about Italian pasta, forget it. Rice noodles don't even come close. So what we've been able to do is, through the use of different types of flour, actually come up with an egg pasta that mimics real wheat pasta, which is what all of us know and love. So that when the customer comes to us, they'll be able to actually order pasta that gives them the same bite that a real pasta gives you. It's not going to be rice noodles covered in marinara sauce. The same thing with our pizza. We've used 3 different types of flour, 3 different non-wheat flour, gluten-free flour, that allows us to actually get a nice dense crust that's chewy, crisp, but doesn't have any of that crackery texture that a rice flour would give it. Matter of fact, our recipe doesn't even use rice flour at all. So for the person looking for a gluten-free meal, they'll actually be able to come to our restaurant or call us and have us deliver real food, quality food that they deserve, that they've been lacking for decades now. 1 in 7 Americans now suffers from celiac disease. 1 in 7. That means if you walk down the street and you see 10 people, good chances are one of them can't eat pasta, can't have pizza. I don't know if I could even live my life that way. Tell me I can't have pizza, tell me I can't have pasta. Oh my God, that's talk about devastating. So we're going to try and make sure that these products are now readily accessible for those folks, and hopefully they'll reward us with their business. We are going to do pizza, not just any pizza. We're going to do classic Neapolitan style pizza. And keeping with our theory of doing everything the right way, the way it was intended, we're actually building a brick oven. It's going to be a wood-fired brick oven, maintaining a temperature of around 700 to 900 degrees, and around there. About 800 will be the average. But that's going to be the same type of pizza oven that were built 2,000–3,000 years ago in Rome, where pizza came from. So when we say we're going back to the basics, we mean we're going all the way back to the basics. You're never going to find any kind of, there's a lot of places that offer brick oven pizza, but that just means they put bricks on the floor of a pizza oven. We're actually building a real, honest-to-God, true brick oven, made out of brick completely, and it's going to be quite something to see, let me tell you. I believe in being hands-on. You can't be a good chef unless you know every single aspect of the business, not just the paperwork or not just the food. You have to know everything. And when I say I'm hands-on, from building the pizza oven, to building the smoker, to the interior design and decorating, to laying out the kitchen, to designing the menu, we're doing it all. We're doing it all with a lot of care, a lot of diligence, a lot of thought is going into this. If you look at our website, you're going to see some of the design plans. You're going to be able to follow us from the beginning to all the way through to the end and our first service. So the website's going to be quite unique because it's going to show the entire story.